All right. Nice big group this morning. It's because you're so excited to go to Poland today, isn't it? Yes. So we're going to pack our bags and travel from Denmark to Poland today. Friendly reminder, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, I have a special presentation here in the community room. And I'll tell you all the things about my trip, and you won't have to exercise. You can just listen. So if you're free tomorrow at 1, I hope you can make it. Let's go ahead and start today's workout with our arms down. I want you to pull your shoulders back and lift your chest up nice and tall. So we have ears over shoulders and shoulders over hips. Take a big breath in and reach up. And exhale, lower down. Let's do that a couple times. Something I try to do every day, whether I'm traveling or not, is start my day with a couple of deep breaths. A few thoughts of gratitude. Go ahead and drop those arms all the way down, and then bend your elbows and point your fingers up. Take a big breath in as you pull the arms back and lift your chest. Exhale, round your shoulders, press the arms forward. 2 more times. In and up, out and down. Very good. 1 more time. I also try to stretch in the morning. It's harder when I'm traveling because we're so busy. Go ahead, come back to a neutral spine and hold it right here. Let's stretch to the right and then over to the left. And then if you're adding on, you can stretch your arm over as you reach. But I want to give you all a friendly reminder that we're heading into the holiday season, which is equally busy. And we probably will all have at least a little bit of travel. So it can be so helpful in the mornings to take a pause. Let's pause right here. Bring those arms around to the front. Hold your big Christmas turkey, ham, roast beef, whatever your family serves, and let's rotate left and right. So again, just a friendly reminder that even if it's just a few deep breaths in the morning or a couple of our upper body stretches, take a pause in the middle, rest those arms down. Even if it's just a few minutes in the morning, it's a great way to start your day physically, mentally, spiritually, when we just have those first couple of moments to really get oriented before we start a big chaotic day. Let's take our arms out to the side. Again, lift your chest up nice and tall. Be nice to your neighbor, and we'll rock left and right. As you're rocking, get one hip all the way up off your chair. And if you can do that, I want you to take that lifted side, scoot it forward, and then alternate. You're going to walk your hips up to the edge of your chair, one at a time. And when you're there, you can take a pause. Now, if that is uncomfortable, you can also just slide your bum all the way to the end of the chair. Very good. All right, let's take our hands down on our thighs. We'll pump the ankles a few times. Remember, there's lots of walking in Europe. My dad and I joked several times throughout the trip. You know, Europeans are quite a lot thinner than we are here in the United States. Go ahead and take a pause. Let's open and close the knees. And my dad and I decided that it had to do at least a little bit with how much walking is a normal part of daily life, because the trains are so common. And even if you're taking the train, you still have a 15-minute walk between stops or to your door. Let's take a pause in the middle. Bend your elbows, lift your chest. We're going to swing the arms and march the feet. So part of it's because of the walking culture, but also part of it, I think, is because the quality of food in Europe is so incredibly high compared to what we have here in the United States. And then I think there's also an element of just simply lifestyle that's slower over there, and dare I even say a little bit happier, because people have more time to themselves. Let's take a pause. For example, I was the only one ever carrying around a to-go cup of coffee. Europeans sit down and drink their coffee. Weird. You guys know me, my coffee mug's right there. It's always within my arm's reach. But this idea that you could slow down and eat your food in the restaurant or drink your coffee cup at the cafe, there's just these small lifestyle things that are different overseas. So from here, let's see, we did our upper, we did our lower. Let's pick up our weights, bring them up to your lap. And then when you're ready, we'll bring our palms up on our thighs, head up, shoulders back. Very good. Abs are tight, squeeze your bum. And then let's take our weights up to our shoulders and lower down. So where we left last week, my dad and I had ridden our bikes all around Denmark. We had seen the oldest theme park in the world. And Jim actually shared with me that that theme park is what inspired Walt Disney to build Disneyland in the 50s. So I didn't know that when I was there, but pretty cool to learn about later. Let's keep our arms all the way up and then turn your palms in. Really pull the shoulders back, lift your chest. Add a chin tuck, and then let's pump the ankles. You can stay here or you can march your feet. Stick with this or kick your feet. So everywhere my dad and I stayed on the trip, we were always walking distance from the train station, which sounds pretty cool except for our travel days when we had to lug our luggage all around on cobblestone streets and up and down the escalator, and gosh darn it if we weren't lost pretty much all the time. Let's take a break here, rest your feet down and bring your arms back on your thighs. As we do, push your heels down, drive your knees out, tuck your chin, lift your chest. Very good. So from here, we're going to lift one weight over on top of the other, and we'll alternate that several times. So something really fun we got to do in the Copenhagen airport, we had purchased a premium ticket. My dad's very tall, and he's never traveled to Europe, so I thought I want this to be enjoyable for him, so we splurged a little bit. We got the tickets with the extra legroom. Let's keep our left hand on top, hold it here, pull that elbow back, open the chest, and then tap. We'll do that several times. What I didn't remember when I booked it, but was so happy when I realized when we were there, our premium ticket meant we could go into the airport lounge. And I don't know if you've ever been in the airport lounge, but they're fun. They're kind of fancy. Let's do one more, and then we'll switch sides. Make sure you still have your glutes strong, your head up, all the things. And then same thing on the right. So it's fun for anyone to have a premium ticket and get to go into the airport lounge, but especially my dad, since he's not a big flying kind of guy and never been to Europe and all the things. So we went in, we're so impressed by the spread, sandwiches and soups and salads and coffee and all the best stuff. So from here, let's take a pause. We're going to bring the weights back on the thighs with the palms up. And we're going to slow it down a little bit this time. So I want you to lift your weights up to your shoulders and then slowly lower down for 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Lift up, slowly lower down. 3, 2, 1. Keep going. So we got to have a nice breakfast. I got to show my dad all about duty-free shopping. And it's funny, especially in international airports, you see stores like Prada and Gucci and Chanel and these really fancy stores that you never see when you're out and about, but apparently some people must just love to shop those designer brands in the airports. Let's take a pause here, bring those weights up, turn your palms in. Remember, nice big chest, very tall. Easy option, pump your ankles. Medium, march your feet. If you want the hard option, kick your legs. So it was a quick flight from Copenhagen to Gdansk, Poland. We just went right over the Baltic Sea. So that was fun. In Copenhagen, we were on the north-ish side of the Baltic Sea, but then down in Gdansk, we were on the south side. So same beautiful body of water, different people, different architecture, different culture. Let's go ahead and keep our feet flat on the floor and lower those weights down. Take a nice big breath here. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. Make sure your heels are down, knees are out. Perfect posture. And then we'll tap left and right. So the flight was easy, but the train from the airport to the downtown was quite difficult. We relied on help from others in Poland more than any other place that we were. Thankfully, there were lots of nice English-speaking citizens who just plain noticed we looked lost and offered to help. Let's do one more on each side, and then keep your right hand on top. Hold it here. We'll pull that arm back, open the chest. Let's do that several times. So we finally made it to the downtown area that we were staying in Gdansk. We lugged our luggage all over the cobblestones and all the things. And like I said, we were pretty stinking lost. Let's change the sides. Left hand comes on top, same thing. We wandered all around trying to find our Airbnb. We even asked locals on the street. No one could help us figure it out. Fortunately, my dad had like a Google Map image of the building we were staying in. Let's take a pause here. Put your weights on your thighs. And one more time, we'll pump the ankles. So we had a picture of the building, and I think people have people problems everywhere you go. So we were in downtown, so there was a lot of graffiti on the side of this building. And gosh darn it, if that isn't how we figured out which one was ours, was we just checked the different graffiti drawings until it was the proper place. Let's go ahead and keep our feet flat, and we're going to step our feet left and right. So we're pretty rattled, and that was the first time I think I saw my dad, not scared, but kind of exasperated, like, what are we gonna do? We can't, where is it? And I told him, well, first of all, I don't know. And second of all, just keep trying. And that was a big theme in our travel, was it really is hard to get around internationally. And the only secret is to keep moving forward. Keep asking for help, keep wandering around, keep looking for the picture, and eventually you're gonna find it. So let's take a pause here. We'll bring our left arm up and our right arm down. Open the chest, nice and big and tall. We were on the 4th floor and there was no elevator. So let's carry those bags up the stairs, folks. I think my dad took 100 pounds of luggage up and down 3 dozen flights of stairs in our time in Europe. I tried to take a video every time because I was impressed. My dad is 73. But eventually I couldn't keep up with him. I'd take the video and he'd be gone down the block by the time I caught back up. Let's take a pause here, switch the sides, nice and strong, and march. So our second day in Poland, the first day was just traveling and getting settled. We found a wonderful Italian restaurant. All of the food in Poland was very affordable. Let's take a pause here. I actually want you to put one weight down on the floor and hold the other weight horizontal at your chest. You're going to tuck your tail here and hold. This is an easy option, just activating those core muscles. If you're adding on, let's do a sit-up. Remember, keep your tail tucked, keep your chin tucked. So we're using all those core muscles as we go. So the food in Poland was much more affordable than when we were in Denmark. In Denmark, literally a cup of coffee was like $8 to $10. It was the most expensive place I've ever been. But in Poland, I think we went out for a really nice pasta dinner with appetizers and all the things, and it really came out to like maybe $10 or $15 each. So it was really extraordinary, the difference in pricing between the two countries, even though they're really not that far apart. Let's do one more sit-up and then hold it nice and tall. Lift your chest. We have some options. Easy option, left and right. If you want to make that harder, go ahead and march your feet one at a time. And then we'll keep it here at the medium option for now because I have a brain game. The conversion rate from Polish zloty to US dollar was $4.50 zloty to $1. So we're gonna have a little brain game. Let's take a pause in the middle. Tuck your tail. I'll tell you your math problem and then we'll do some sit-ups while we think about it. So the second day on our trip, we went out to dinner. I guess I should say to lunch. And our meal was 32 zlotys. You have about 10 sit-ups to figure out what that is in US dollars. Here we go. 450 zloty to $1. How much is 32 zlotys?
$7, $8.
You guys are so quick. Look at you, $7 to $8. That's right. So like I said, we had this wonderful meal with appetizers and all the things, and it came out to just 7 or 8 a piece. Let's do a few more sit-ups here. And then we can take a break.
My question is, did you use credit cards or cash?
Good question. So the question, did we use credit cards or cash? I'll tell you about it. Let's rotate a few times left and right. First of all, my dad brought 500 euros on the trip, and then we got there. Poland doesn't take euros. Neither does Denmark. So we had all of this money that didn't work. It was no problem. We went into a bank and got it converted. Let's take a pause here, because if you're adding on, I want you to go ahead and march your knees one at a time. So we did a combination of paying in cash and also paying in card. Gosh darn it, if those shops really didn't like my credit card, so my dad had to buy me an awful lot of things while we were traveling, mostly just meals and snacks and trinkets. Let's take a pause in the middle. Bring that weight down to your thigh, and then bring that other one back up. So on our second day in Poland, we went to the hotel where the athletes were staying. For this one, let's pick up your left toe and your right heel, and then alternate those movements. This is a brain game. Keep your feet moving just like this. Add a tap left and right. And it was a brain game trying to figure out how to get to the athlete hotel. They were staying a good half an hour away from where we were in the old town, the historic part of town. But they were staying right on the beach. So Gdansk is actually a resort town in the summer. And there's another little town we could see from where this hotel was called Gdynia. And both just beautiful tourist beach, beautiful places. Let's take a pause in the middle, and then we'll start with our weights on our knees. Squeeze your bum, lift your chest. Lean forward, shoulders over knees, and then come all the way up. So we spent the day walking along the beach. It was very cold, so the sand was actually frozen, which was kind of a funny sensation to walk on sand that didn't squish beneath your feet. And then I took my shoes off and I went and put my feet in the water, which I thought was really fun, to put my feet in the water, the same body of water from 2 different countries. I thought that was pretty neat. Cool. It was very cold, but we talked last time the benefits of the heat from a sauna, also the benefits of cold, whether that's a cold shower or something called a cold plunge. There are lots of health benefits to challenging your body with extreme temperatures. Let's do one more, and then we'll come all the way up. Again, I want the left hand to your shoulder and your right hand to the side. Open the chest, nice and tall. Easy, march your ankles. Medium, knees. Hard, kick your feet. So we did a lot of walking that day because I felt it was my job to spend a lot of time with athletes. All of you know that I'll be announcing for the Olympics in February, but NBC doesn't go in person to many competitions anymore. Let's take a pause here and switch sides. Again, nice big chest, easy, pump the ankles. Medium, march your knees. Hard, kick your feet. So since I got to be there in person, I took advantage and I spent the afternoon having lunch with multiple different teams. And I got to try my hand at some field reporting. So I have a lot of experience color commentating, but not much experience with my field reporting and interviews. Let's take a pause here, put those weights back on your thighs, and then step your feet out just a little wider than they are. We're going back to our hip hinges, sit up nice and tall. Remember, we want a flat back, forward and up. If you can keep your back flat, drop your left arm down. Nice strong shoulders, lean forward and come up. So what I decided to ask all of the athletes about was, since it's an Olympic year, do you feel under pressure? Under pressure is something that I felt my entire athletic life. I used to listen to the song by David Bowie before I raced, just to try to keep things a little light rather than what pressure often feels like, which is heavy. Let's sit all the way up and switch the sides. Remember, nice tall shoulders, stay square to your knees, lean forward and up. Very good. So I was really amazed to hear how the different countries saw pressure. The Canadians said, we love pressure, put more on our backs. They're very good. They win a lot of races. And so they clearly felt very confident in their ability to win races, and they wanted more was the big takeaway from that group. From here, come all the way up, palms on your thighs. And again, let's do that stepping left and right. When I spoke to the Dutch team, they said pressure is a privilege. Of course, it's hard to have pressure on your back all the time, but they were very grateful to be in medal contending position. So they had their own unique way of dealing with it. The Chinese team said, yes, I feel pressure. I use it. I channel it to try to make my workouts better. But the American team said, I feel pressure and it's crushing me. I can't sleep. I'm always stressed. My mind is full of negative self-talk. And that really amazed me. Let's take a pause here. Step those feet out wide one more time. We're just taking the left hand down. Watch me for a moment. Please do not twist your body. Please do keep your shoulders facing me. Flat back, lean forward, and lift up. Let's do that several times. And I know these athletes quite well. Maybe that's why they were being so honest with me about the pressure that they felt, but it was really a reminder for me. From an athlete perspective, pressure isn't real. You can't point at it. You can't draw a picture of it. It's just a feeling. It's something that kind of haunts your thoughts. So it was interesting for me to see the Americans struggling with pressure the same way that I had struggled with pressure back in my skating days. Let's take a pause here and switch sides. Strong shoulders, square to the front, lean forward, and up. So we'll do that several times. And I should make it clear that between the Canadians, the Chinese, the Dutch, and the Americans, all 4 of those teams are in the top 5 countries internationally, but only one of those teams felt crushed by pressure. Every other team was either grateful for their pressure, wanted more of it, or was using it to make themselves better in the long run. Let's take a pause here. Bring your weights back to your thighs, and then toe heel your feet in. Now, the last thing we'll do today is we'll start on the left foot. You have an easy option to pump the ankle, or to lift and lower the knee, or to ride your bike. So we didn't ride our bikes in Poland, but one of my coworkers actually rented a bike and rode to the rink every single day. Let's take a pause here, come back the way we came. So imagine how in the US we have what are called bubbler bikes, and they're more common in big downtown areas. Let's take a pause. That's how it is everywhere in Europe. You can just rent a bike off the street, ride to where you're going, leave it on the corner, and someone else will ride it later. And then there's always one left for you to ride home with. It's really an incredible, very active lifestyle kind of system. So let's go to that right side, start with the ankle, move on to the knee. If you're ready for a challenge, lift your knee, ride your bike. So I spent all day with the teams that day, and then when we got back to what's called Old Town, take a pause, change direction, we went out for pierogies. These were the best pierogies I've ever had. You guys, even the sauerkraut was good. Okay, pause, put your foot on the ground. What I've been telling people is here in the States, I eat sauerkraut because it's good for me. But in Poland, I ate sauerkraut because it was good. I was really impressed. Let's take the weights down to the floor. We'll start our stretch. Kick your left foot forward to start. Put your hands on your hips and sit up tall. Keep your chin tucked as you lean forward and lower down towards your thigh. Once you feel a stretch, hold it there and take a deep breath. Come all the way up and switch your feet. We'll do the same thing here, nice and tall. Lean forward and breathe. Come all the way up. And let's plant the pinky toes down on the ground. Bring your palms down on your thighs. Now before we push, lift your chest, stay tall, and then lean into your legs. So we're pressing those knees down towards the floor. So the best part about the pierogi restaurant was that they had a window into the kitchen and you could see the head chef hand making your pierogis right there. It took a half an hour to get our meal because they made them fresh. It was incredible, totally worth the wait. As I said before, very affordable. Let's go ahead and come all the way up. We'll walk those feet out nice and wide. And then drop the knees in, very gentle. This stretch is a little more challenging, so be very gentle as you press those knees in. Take a big breath. Very good. And then bring your knees back to neutral. Walk the feet in. Let's take the left knee up to your chest and give it a hug. We'll hold it here and circle the ankle. And then change directions. Very good. Point and flex. And windshield wipe. And lower down. From here, let's bring the right side up. Give it a hug. Circle the ankle. And change directions. Point and flex. And windshield wipe. Very good. Let's put that foot down on the floor. Drop your arms down to the side and lift your chest nice and tall. For the easy option, touch your shoulders. Perfect posture, lift your head. If you can make this a little harder, bring your arms up to the back of your head. Very good. This time, lift up, hold it, press your elbows back, 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 nice and tall. Very good. If that's easy, reach for your upper back. And if you have to slouch, then just keep your hands on your head or shoulders, no big deal. Either way, let's do 3 more times. Your choice, touching shoulders, head, or back. It doesn't matter where you reach. It matters how tall you sit. Challenge your posture 1 more time and relax. Very good. All right, folks, on Wednesday, I'll tell you about the Amber Museum in Gdansk, and I will tell you all about the international racing that I got to be a part of the broadcasting team for. So don't miss it. Come back Wednesday at 11, or come here tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and I'll give a presentation with all the pictures and all the stories from my trip. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.